disappointing result, obviously, today for your team against a team that you were quite closely matched with last year. What can you take away from a loss like that?
Oh, I don't think it was too disappointing as far as the effort and the intent to play. It was obviously the results disappointing to be so close. I think it was 9 points or 10 points at three-quarter time, and to have it blow out a little bit. But at the end of the day, we've got about 9 odd guys under 5 games. So to say we're going to be disappointed, yeah, we are. But there's a lot of positives as well to come out of the game.
I thought Joey Harper was a clear best on for you guys today. While Hamish Leadham also had something like 50 plus hit outs in the ruck. Who did you assess as the side's best players?
Job had worked into the game, but a bit fumbly, and he knows that. He had a few ground ball gathers at half time just trying to sharpen himself up. But we probably thought Tuttle was probably our best first gamer. Reliable. Just read the game well all day. Probably saved us a couple of times. It probably could have been 3 or 4 more goals if he wasn't there. So I think he was a clear best from our view. And then, Jake Smith was probably another one that had probably a standout game for someone that's probably been under a little bit of pressure the last couple of years to get back to where he was. So to see that today is, big positive.
With a large player turnaround in the off-season, how do you think the club is tracking compared to this time last year?
It was a large turnaround, but we had them, say, 10 to 15 guys that played D-League last year in a flag that were ready to step up. Probably a blessing for them to be able to experience some success, and then they were able to just step straight in. So someone like Tuttle, you wouldn't know that he's played one game of football. So what's gone out was a bit of age and experience, and what's come in is a bit of youth and excitement and a bit of something different that we haven't probably seen for the last couple of years, which is only a positive for the group. Keeps everyone up and about and keeps us old blokes a little bit sharper at training because we've got to try and keep up with them a bit.
How do you assess the new rule changes now that you've seen them firsthand in the game?
You just adapt. 666 gives you a chance of kicking quick goals. We couldn't do that today because we weren't great around the centre contest. And I think they got us comfortably. But if we gave ourselves an opportunity, I think it can be a very good rule. Kick in, it's not that much different, really, and the others, you don't really pay too much. The runner kind of stuff we don't carry on. So, they are what they are, and I don't think it's changed too much.
Do you think Mitch Thorpe stepping into the coaching role this year will have an effect on his personal game at all?
No, I don't think so. I think today it might have. He found himself coaching a little bit and probably took away his game slightly, but they still had to send a very good defender to him. When Timmy Bristow can get back and play forward, that'll take the pressure off him a bit. But I think you look at the practice matches, he only played one, kicked a handful of goals. I think, going forward, maybe one or 2 weeks, you might need to just try and take a step back a bit. But I think, as we see the season go on, you'll give us more trust on the bench, and we'll see him kicking more bags of goals very soon.
Miller Hodge and Jack Tuttle today both had good goal-saving plays in defence. How big a role will the young players like that have this year?
Oh, massive. They know they have to step up. They've had a good pre-season, and we've just trusted them in saying, yep, this is your position, make it your own. It's yours to lose now. And they've really taken it all on board. And I think as the season goes on, they'll get better and better. If that's Jack's first look at it and that's how he played, well, that sets his standard. He now improves on that, and he knows he can match it with the best at this level. He played on some good players today. So, can't complain with him at all.
There seemed to be an injury to Miller Hodge at one point, and he did return to the field, and also Grant Holt finished off at the end of the game. Any injury news of those two?
Nah, Miller had to have a bit of a concussion test. He's a bit simple, so he forgot something, so they had to retest him, but he was fine once he came back on. You wouldn't know he had a hit. Grant was just a bit late in the game, so just put him on ice and he'll be right for next week. And I think apart from that, we're all sweet to go. We might get Tim back maybe, but I think we'll be pretty much the same going forward, hopefully. And there was a few good young guys that really stood up in the D-League game today. So we'll have a good look at them and reassess and go from there.
Now that you're here in person, when can we see you back out in the field?
Yeah, we'll just see. There's no timeline at the moment. There's no need to rush it. If I get back in 10 weeks, it's 10 weeks. If it's 3 weeks, it's 3 weeks. Highly doubtful it'll be 3 weeks. But yeah, if I don't get back and there is a setback, there hasn't been. But if I don't, I don't. It's just one of them things. I've got to look after myself first. And then, yeah, when it comes to return of footy, it comes and we jump straight back into it and have a crack.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
Yeah, all right.
Solid workout for the boys?
Yeah, it was a tough workout, and we expected nothing less. I mean, I've sort of said before, there's a lot of focus on who Launceston have lost, but they've still got a lot of talent that's still here, and they had a really deep list last year, so they're probably better positioned than any team in the TSL to absorb a loss like that. So we thought they'd be tough. You know, they sort of manipulate their numbers around the ball, which, you know, makes it hard work around the contest. The guys got to be on their toes, and so we're pretty pleased with the way we did it. Third quarter, our discipline dropped away. We were pretty disappointed with that. We really let them. We were at a point where we could have really opened up a gap. We let them back into the game, but credit to the guys, like Into the Wind in that last quarter to kick 4 goals to 1 was pretty clinical. You know, they went about it the right way and executed the plan we wanted for that quarter, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah, first of all, congrats. First of all, congrats on the 29-point win. What can you take out of a mostly tight contest like that in round one?
Well, you can take 4 points, and that's pleasing. I mean, it's interesting coming into round one because you really don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what the opposition's going to do. You have some ideas. You're not sure how your team will go. Every coach comes into round one thinking you've had a great pre-season and the guys are ready. And you know, we came in thinking if we put our best foot forward, we could get 4 points. We didn't put our best foot forward, but you know, part of that was the pressure that Launceston put on. Their work rate was really high, particularly through those first 3 quarters. You know, we were a little sloppy at times with our conversion and some of our forward connection, which aided that. But yeah, as I said, the guys stuck at it. They executed a plan in the last quarter that was, you know, they were pretty disciplined with that. Pretty switched on with how we wanted to play, and it ends up being a really good win against a team I think it would be a pretty strong challenge this year. You know, I think they've still got some good veterans and some exciting young players, so we're happy.
Yeah. After a big pre-season like that, who did you assess as the best players out there today?
Look, I thought Tim Butterworth did a really good job on Mitch Thorpe. You know, like Chiz missed all of last season pretty much. He got a handful of development league games and played 1 senior game, but he's been really committed to his pre-season, and it was a really good reward for him today. He put his hand up for that job, and you know, really did an excellent job of it. Yeah, Sammy Rundle, it was really good to see him play well, you know, against his old team. It's not easy, but I just thought his toughness at the footy, he was pretty relentless at the contested ball, and that's why we got him in. We thought we were missing that a bit last year, just that really bigger body when Braden Webb wasn't in the middle. So we're pretty happy to have those two. Cam Duffy in the ruck was the other one who really stood out. You know, I really rate Hamish Leadham. I think he's a tremendous player, and I thought Duff got the better of him today, so that's a credit to Duff.
As you already mentioned, Sam Rundle had a good first run with Glenorchy today, and Aiden Grace also kicked 4 goals. How big are these players as ends this year?
Well, those are 2 really quality players. You know, we're pretty fortunate that we've retained most of last year's list, and then, you know, put in a guy like Sam, who is just one of the best in and under midfielders in the comp. And obviously Aiden is a guy who's been over in the VFL system with Geelong, so he's got some really good habits. He's got a really high fitness base and a strong pair of hands, so it's a good combination.
What did you say to motivate the players at half-time after you were held goalless in the second quarter?
Geez, half-time seems like a long time ago now. Look, I mean, we felt all the stats we were keeping told us we were playing good footy. We just weren't connecting. And we had a lot of opportunities in that second quarter that we wasted. What we said was, it's easy to go into half time and say, we're right on top, we just haven't converted. But that's a really dangerous mindset to have. So we're really big on, you've got to put that first half behind, and we need to go back to the in and under basics. Because Lonnie, when they get on top, their ball movement is slick. So if they're on top around the ball, they can put goals on the board in a hurry. So that was our big focus. And probably for the first 15 to 20 minutes of the third quarter, we did a really good job of that. We dropped off late, but then credit to the guys, they picked up in the fourth quarter.
As you already mentioned,